our job is hardcore.
There's all sorts that can happen.
Everything we do relies on this bond between us all.
Just stay down. No.
You're okay, you're okay.
You have to be comfortable in high-stress situations.
Save a life, and you're a hero.
You're in the hospital.
How much? Do you want to tell me what drugs you want and when?
Save 100, you're a nurse. In Australia, 1 in 10 nurses hails from the United Kingdom.
It's a bloody good job. It's so good.
Big deep breath in.
Through their eyes, you'll see life.
Push.
Good girl!
Death.
Unfortunately, we can't save her.
And everything in between.
Coughs, colds and sore holes.
Welcome to the front line
2, 3.
of one of the world's toughest
It's all right, darling. We're looking after you, okay?
and most trusted professions.
It was scary, hey?
Nurses are superheroes, without capes, just in scrubs.
Hello, emergency, Darren speaking. We're very, very full.
St Vincent's has one of the busiest emergency departments in the country.
Vincent's probably clear, thanks.
Can you open your eyes?
140 patients are treated every day,
Do another round to try and create some space.
which keeps nurse unit manager Darren on his toes.
Are you just coming back from CT? It's an incredibly challenging role. You literally just don't know what kind of shift you walk into. Every day you've got to be prepared for the unpredictable. My role in the emergency department is to ensure that the whole department runs efficiently. So we're going to go handover and then go into the ward. There's a stroke page that needs to come in. There's about 20 beds in the main department. As a manager, I need to make sure that patients come into the department are seen efficiently, and then we can move them on to a final destination, which is the wards or home. The stroke page can go to bed 18. We're incredibly full at the moment.
St Vincent's standing by for car 952.
There's 52 patients in the department. There are a lot of Jerrys coming in. People will still keep coming in. Ambulances will still keep arriving. I'm going to go and get this ambulance into bed 10. It just becomes a priority. Who needs that bed the most? We're going to move you out of the emergency department up to one of the wards. We're also quite short-staffed in nurses this afternoon as well.
Darren's directing the high-tempo production line from triage to treatment, when suddenly a chilling scream cuts through the department.
Get away! Come and take a seat over here for me.
Good, let go.
A patient has lashed out in panic.
You need to let go of my finger.
Let go.
We need security here. Mum, come take a seat.
Hi, how are you?
21 to 27?
St Vincent's is the only hospital in New South Wales that performs heart and lung transplants, giving hope to 1,600 Australians on the waiting list for a life-saving organ.
Yeah, red's ticking on. Holding that volume.
Last year, 42 lung transplants were carried out at the hospital by a specialist team of doctors and nurses.
Transplant nursing. It's not the white stockings and apron and hat. It's not, you know, the Florence Nightingale. We're there after the bad news and after the good news. It is life in a lot of sense, and it's death as well.
Hello. Welcome.
Hello.
I'll take this. How are you?
Thank you. Good, thanks.
Good. I'm Amy. I'll be your nurse for the next couple hours.
Hi,
until
Amy.
you're
How you
home.
doing?
Good. Do you go by Chris or Christopher?
Chris.
It's Christopher, I still feel like I'm in trouble.
Amy is one of more than 2,000 Irish nurses working in Australia. Her patient Chris has terminal lung disease. He's waiting for a lung transplant. There are 117 others on that waiting list.
Do you ever take the oxygen off to walk or do anything, or you keep it on all the time?
No, it's 24/7.
24/7. I'll bring a scale in here, then your height.
Without a transplant, he will die.
There's going to be a less than 50% chance of surviving the next 2 years if you don't get it done. And I'm halfway through those 2 years. So, you know, these are the sorts of thoughts that do go through your mind if you commit them from time to time. Try not to.
So we just have the armband. We'll put one on your wrist and then one on your ankle as well.
It can be up to 2 years waiting for a suitable donor organ. Many recipients don't survive that long. But for Chris, the wait may be over.
So I'm Holly. I've been a transplant coordinator here at St Vincent's just shy of 6 months. So prior to this, I was a scrub nurse and I was an anaesthetic nurse for 3 years.
Holly has received a call with good news. Overnight, donor lungs have become available.
Hey, Rod.
So we've got a GCD, blood group is O for oranges positive. Infection risk minimal.
Yeah.
And I do believe he'll go quite quickly as well.
The lungs appear to be a match for Chris.
All right, thanks, Rod.
Thanks, Alba.
Bye. Chris needs a transplant because he has emphysema and interstitial lung disease. Emphysema is not a reversible disease. Making the phone call to the potential recipient, I find the most rewarding part. You're telling someone that potentially they've got their second go at life. I think that's then when you cross all your fingers and toes in the hope that it all goes ahead and that their transplant journey goes as smoothly as possible. All right, see you later. See you.
Timing is critical. Holly has to travel to another hospital to retrieve the donor lungs.
When was the last time you've eaten anything?
Would have been, what, about 8 o'clock last night? Yeah.
Chris and his wife were flown from Adelaide last night by the Flying Doctor Service. They've been down this path before.
So it's your second call, is it?
It's the third one.
Third one?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, third time lucky.
My fingers crossed, eh? We only got about 20 minutes out of home the first time. Second time, that was 3 weeks and a day ago, and got as far as admission to the theatre. So close, but no cigar, as I say.
False starts are not uncommon. The donor organ might be more damaged from the donor's death, or the lungs could be more unhealthy on examination. Chris's fate is in the hands of the 2 surgeons heading to the donor hospital and Holly, who is coordinating every step of the delicate process.
Our recipient today is an emphysemic. He's from South Australia, so we've had him up a couple of times and not progressed to transplant, so he's O for orange positive.
The organ can only be retrieved after the donor's blood circulation has ceased.
It all happens fairly quickly, and with the lungs today, it depends how long it takes for our donor to pass.
If the donor is still alive, 90 minutes after life support is withdrawn, the lungs will deteriorate and Chris's transplant will be called off.
Well, yeah, we draw it for cross clamp 4:30 on the back table at 4:45. It is pretty surreal. One family is going through an incredible loss, but it's giving the opportunity for so many people to have their second go at life. The gift that's given by a family to another family. Talk about priceless things that you do in your life. I think that's something that, you know, donor families do. So we've just arrived at the donor hospital. So now our role is going to theatre and assessing whether the lung is viable for transplant. Yeah, all right, come on, let's go. Feeling hopeful that today will be the day for Chris, but nothing is certain in terms of the retrieval and transplant. Emergency that way?
Back at St Vincent's, Chris knows this might be the last time he's wheeled down the corridors of the hospital.
As far as 5th floor last time. Oh, really?
With his health failing, this could be his last chance for a transplant.
All right, look. Thank you.
Look after yourself, okay?
Okay. Well, it's out of my hands.
A few floors down in the emergency department,
Come and take a seat over here for me.
Good, let go.
an elderly patient in a confused state has latched onto a staff member's arm and won't let go.
You are to go.
The patient suffers from advanced dementia.
Go on, pull out a gun.
He's got no insight, he's just very confused. And he got sent in from his care home because he's been attacking the nurses and family members, so...
Everyone to leave.
Come on, we'll have a chat about it.
Everyone to leave.
It's a tense standoff. The emergency team don't want to increase the patient's distress, but if they don't get help from security, he could injure himself or a staff member.
We need security here.
We need to let go, man. Can you come and have a seat with me?
You need to let go of the finger. Let go of my finger. Come on, come take a seat. You need to let go of this man as well. To be able to effectively run the department, being calm is one of the most important things. If you crumble, then, you know, other people feel that tension. And at times, the department is a bit of a war zone. You know, I just need to really be composed and try and support everyone.
Finally, Darren convinces the man to release his tight grip.
You need to come and take a seat.
But the patient is still agitated and refuses to get back in his bed.
We're trying to just figure out a way of trying to keep him calm without going down the route of sedating. But, you know, this man is so impulsive, he's going to end up falling and hurting his head or doing more damage to himself.
There's a concern he'll become physically violent again. They need to calm him down fast.
Oh, yeah. You want to sit on the chairs? Everyone to leave. Get away!
No, we have to get you back into this bed.
Get away!
In emergency, security have been called to help with a dementia patient who's been lashing out at staff. It's estimated that up to 460,000 Australians are living with dementia, which affects a person's brain function, including loss of memory, confusion, and sometimes aggression.
Empathy comes hand in hand with nursing. You've really got to understand that somebody might be really agitated and aggressive towards you, screaming and shouting, but those people have had things that we could never have imagined happening to ourselves has happened to them. He's lashing out at me because he's scared of something, but he's got no insight to tell us what's bothering him. So it could be a number of factors. Security coming in, he's even more scared, and then it's just a cycle. It's got to be kind of the last resort for me for, you know, holding an old man down or giving any form of sedation. But we either, you know, try and sedate him mildly, or he's going to end up cracking his head, and then that could be leaving him in a lot worse situation.
Despite their best efforts, the team has no choice but to sedate the patient to reduce his distress.
Throughout my nursing career, I've always been really focused on like aged care and how we can make that better. And I guess that stems from looking after my nana. My gran had like quite severe dementia, and I was always going over to see her and really looking after her. That experience certainly inspired me to really drive to be a nurse.
Finally, the sedation kicks in and the man calms down.
Thank you. Cheers. Every day can be a big challenge in the emergency department. Are you comfortable? Very good. Everyone leans on each other when it's rough. Emergency teams can function without a strong teamwork. Whether you're a doctor or a nurse, everyone comes close together to help people. Right, give me a shout if there's anything.
Thank you.
As a manager, I see the amazing care every single shift. It makes me incredibly proud.
After 2 hours in theatre at the donor hospital, Holly has some precious cargo.
Our retrieval went smoothly. The lungs are viable.
So you two in that one and I'll go in this one?
Yeah. Time is precious, so the Highway Patrol kindly help us out. Organs in the car. We're going to head back to St Vincent's now, and our surgeons will be implanting this evening. Chris's new lungs are sitting in one of our escues in the boot of the Highway Patrol car. Yeah. All right. How long do you reckon this run will be?
40 to 50,
40?
maybe.
Okay, sure thing. Thank you.
The police authorise a green corridor from Sydney's traffic control. They'll have a green light run all the way back to St Vincent's.
The lungs go on ice. We cold storage them to limit cell damage.
A detour there, radio roadworks block the on-ramp for me.
So it is really important that we are as swift as we can be in order for the best possible outcome.
Lungs can survive on ice for several hours, but that depends on the conditions and the state of the organ. Holly calls Chris's wife Sheila with the news they're on the way.
Hey Sheila, it's Holly, one of the transplant coordinators. How are you going?
Yeah, copy that.
Yeah, I've tried to call you as soon as I can, so I'm just headed on my way back to St Vincent's now. But yeah, I just wanted to let you know I'm on chat soon, okay? Bye.
Back at St Vincent's Hospital, Chris is waiting to hear if his life-saving lung transplant will go ahead.
My own lungs are just giving up, and without the transplant, the future's not looking too bright at all.
Finally, the news he's been waiting for.
Let's do it.
All right, take care.
It's happening, is it? It's happening.
See you on the other side.
Okay.
See you later.
And then all of a sudden it's getting real, isn't it?
All right, you tell me when you're ready.
Chris's surgery will be carried out by a 10-person medical team.
Scapular retractor? Yes.
That includes Scout Nurse Brooke and Scrub Nurse Bernice.
5 Cocker forceps. Our consent form for a bilateral sequential single lung transplant.
We're just going to start to prep the patient. Hey, Brooke.
Yeah?
I might actually need more prep.
More prep? No worries.
Please,
Give me
and
one
thank
sec.
you. Yeah. Where is your sedative?
We've got the information to go ahead, so the surgeons are now confident that they will receive these organs. That's why we're proceeding to start the surgery on this end of things. So do you want to count the clamps on there for me?
To limit the donor lungs' time on ice, the surgical team need to remove Chris's dying lungs as the donor ones arrive.
We say over here in 14 minutes.
When we get that green light to go ahead, you know you're under a bit of a time pressure to get things ready on this end because you know those organs are coming at you quite quickly. Yeah. I don't know if you can tell, I'm a little hot and sweaty at the moment.
Thank you.
That's all right. Thank you.
Getting the timing right is critical.
So we get started, so it's a bit of a smoother transition. So when the organs arrive, hopefully these lungs are out and we can just get them up, prepare them and move them straight in.
15 bleeding cannula.
Before Chris's diseased lungs can be removed, the surgeons need to connect him to a bypass machine.
6.5 or 6, Bernie?
6.
Which will temporarily breathe for him.
And plus 1 snugger.
Okay.
It's one of the riskiest parts of the transplant.
Higher on the sucker?
This one. Yeah.
The critical parts of the operation are going onto heart-lung bypass because that is when the patient is most vulnerable for bleeding or clot or stroke. There's 1 suture and 2 wires.
If anything goes wrong now, the consequences can be fatal. Under police escort, organ transplant coordinator Holly is racing across Sydney with the donor lungs. The organs have been on ice for an hour. The longer it takes to get to St Vincent's, the greater the risk that the transplant will not be viable.
There are high stakes in transplant. We have a window of which we can work within. It is time critical to get the organ back to St Vincent's, to our implanting surgeons, so that they can get well underway.
15 bleeding cannula.
In theatre, the surgeons have reached one of the riskiest parts of the operation.
Higher on the sucker?
This one. Yeah.
Replacing the function of Chris's heart and lungs with a bypass machine.
The critical parts of the operation are going onto heart-lung bypass because that is when the patient is most vulnerable. So there's 1 suture and 2 wires.
The risk right now is blood loss, a stroke, or even death.
Okay. Thanks, Beck.
Okay, rolling. Excellent, off there.
I need to go get another viral. We've got the right lung in, just doing the artery.
The bypass has been a success, but it can only be used temporarily to sustain his life.
Know the location of the donor lungs at the moment?
I've just heard that they're about 5 minutes away.
Pressure is mounting on Holly to arrive with the lungs before it's too late.
This will be Chris's 3rd call-up for transplant. It is life-changing for him to receive a new set of lungs. It's not necessarily a straight trajectory after transplant, but it is definitely a new, exciting journey for him.
No worries, mate.
Thank you so much.
That's all right.
The donor lungs finally arrive at St Vincent's Hospital.
The lungs go on ice to limit cell damage, so it is really important that we are as swift as we can be in order for the best possible outcome.
Year 4? Year 4?
Hey, Mama.
Hello.
Thank you.
Holly will now hand over to the 8-person medical team in theatre.
So our organs have arrived from our transplant coordinator. We'll get them out of the SQ, out of the ice and onto the back table when they can be prepared.
The transplant is about to proceed. The next question, will Chris's body accept the new organ?
Right, first hemisphere.
The surgeons will insert 1 lung at a time.
So the one in the blue bowl, that's the right lung from the donor, and it's now going up to the recipient. And the one in the bowl that they're still working on and bagging, that's going to be the left lung that we'll get out of the ice later. Thank you.
Just handing off the right native lung.
This is what a diseased lung looks like.
So they're pretty much almost done putting the donor lung in. Now they're just doing the artery, and then they'll move on to the next side and do it all over again.
Emptying out.
The right side is completely done, so now they're just moving on to the left. Right middle low, right native viral.
Squeeze down the lung, go down the tube. Try to visualize the left lung. It's really wide open.
Both lungs have been inserted, and now it's the most critical part of the surgery.
Are you happy with that retractor?
Waiting to see if Chris's new lungs inflate. A few minutes from the Sydney Harbour Bridge is the Mater Hospital.
Birth Suite, Heidi speaking.
It is one of Sydney's leading maternity units, where around 2,500 babies are born a year.
Welcome. Here we go. Congratulations. I don't think there's any typical day for a midwife. It's very unpredictable. There's all sorts that can happen. You're not out of the woods until the baby's out, basically. My name's Lucy, and I'm a registered midwife at the Mater Hospital. And I look after women in labour. So I'm originally from a town just outside of Bath in England. I actually went to London to do my training. I was always really interested in birth. It fascinated me. Baby's out. Well done, congratulations. That's the excitement of it, is, you know, you're going in and you're not really knowing what you're going to face that day. I just need to slurp of coffee. Birth unit is very busy. I literally walk like someone's murdering me all the time. I'm just so used to just being like, literally we'll be like this. We walk quickly here, don't we? It's ingrained in me just to be quick, you know? Baby's well, yeah, Apgar's with 9 and 10, good weight and everything, breastfeeding, yeah. Okay, you're welcome, bye. Look at how cute. The buzz from birth unit you get is like indescribable.
How old's your little one at home?
3.5.
Oh, and boy or girl?
Only boy.
Oh, cute.
Second-time mum Sarah has arrived at the maternity ward, hoping to have a procedure to turn her breech baby around. But it hasn't gone to plan.
Cheeky monkey, upside down.
Yeah. Let's go.
Lucy has been called to assess the situation.
So Sarah came in for an external cephalic version, which is where we try and turn the baby. Her baby was breech. So she had a head up here and then a bottom almost in the pelvis. So we wanted to turn the baby. What happened was that she started to contract. Now she's 2 centimetres dilated. So her body's actually going into labour. Your uterus is contracting, so your body's ready to have a baby.
Yeah.
With the baby in breech position and Sarah going into labour, the only option is an emergency caesarean.
Because the plan has changed suddenly, Sarah and her husband Shane are pretty anxious.
They're going to rush her off for an emergency C-section, and not something she's that thrilled about. She wanted to do a natural birth, but we'll just take doctor's orders and we'll get on with it and see how she goes.
Sometimes with breech babies, because the bottom's delivered first and the head's last, the baby can come out a little bit floppy and don't cry. All right, let's go.
A baby delivered in the breech position could be starved of oxygen.
An obstetric emergency is something that we train for. Because it's so unpredictable, you don't really know what's going to happen.
Right middle low.
Back at St Vincent's, it's now time to test if the transplant has worked.
Right native viral.
It's a tense moment for the whole medical team as they wait to see if the lungs will inflate.
Yep. Should slow. Keep it low on volume. More pills?
Chris can now be taken off the bypass machine and take his first breaths of air with his new lungs. After 6 grueling hours in theatre, the surgeons can start closing Chris's chest.
That's a really good sign. Hopefully it won't be too much longer before it goes to ICU. Is that to the CSL? Yes, yeah. It's not over until it's over.
From here, Chris will be taken to the intensive care unit to begin his recovery.
Thank you. Can't set this off. Everything's off.
The next 24 hours are critical. The post-operative risks of airway blockage, blood clots, and even organ rejection are high.
The acute phase straight after transplant can always be a little bit rocky. Immediate risk of bleeding or rejection and things. I guess, unfortunately, you see patients who maybe don't thrive as well after transplant. It's a bumpy journey, that's for sure.
It's been 6 hours since Chris's life-changing lung transplant. And Holly is keen to check on his condition.
Hey, how are you? Chris was transplanted late last night and into the early hours of the morning. The first 24 hours post-transplant for Chris will be where the most things can go astray and where it can be the rockiest. So it's nice to go and see how he's progressing.
Hi there.
Good morning, guys. How's Chris going?
So he's very sedated. The plan is still to extubate, hopefully lunchtime-ish.
Yeah. Hey, Sheila, I'm Holly.
Thank you for your phone call.
No, that's okay.
It was so lovely to hear your voice last night.
Yeah, I know. It was
The sirens in the background.
I know. I normally wouldn't call you until we got back here, but I just thought I'd give you the heads up that we were on our way and yeah, and that it was
such a difference.
Yeah, it was a nice thing that this got to go through this time. He's transplanted Chris.
It's not often he's not talking.
It's a bit of respite for you, hey? All right, excellent, guys. I'll see you guys later on, okay? Chris looked pretty good. He's going pretty well if they're thinking about extubating him today. That's pretty exciting for Sheila. We should be able to give him a proper hug and chat to him properly.
By the end of the day, Chris will be breathing unassisted and Holly will be on to her next case.
So we do it at 9 o'clock and to have a bit of a rundown of what's happened. It's just nice to be able to chat to your colleagues. There's currently 7 of us in the team. We're all pretty close.
Yeah, it's just so nice.
You take on a lot of the emotional side of the job, you know, thinking about the families and the transplants and stuff after hours. But I think we're lucky that we can all put our heads together and kind of chat and debrief.
You did a great job yesterday. I got a lovely text message.
Oh yeah, that was a really nice text, actually.
Yeah, so I forwarded that on. That was really nice.
Yeah, hi Rod. Thank you for helping me go out and retrieval yesterday. It was incredible. Please pass on a big thanks to Holly. She was amazing yesterday, managing retrieval, filming, and me. She's a great asset to the Heartland team.
That's really sweet.
I was like, yes. You don't need a pat on the back or a gold star for things that you do in this job, but it is nice, I guess.
We do.
Even if you feel like your head's only just above water, that, yeah, you are still doing okay.
After the successful transplant, Rod has some news for Holly.
That leads into the fact that I think we need to sit down and sign you off on first, or talk through it.
Holly has been promoted to first on-call nurse. That gives her greater responsibilities and oversight for the next transplant.
Yeah, I'm more than happy to sign you up.
At the Mater Hospital, midwife Lucy has rushed to theatre for an emergency caesarean section.
Sarah's first delivery was premature and she laboured very, very quickly, and her husband was working away, and so he wasn't there. The baby was taken away quite quickly, so she's been pretty traumatised by that. And this labour, we were really hoping for a completely different experience, and again, it's just changed for her, so I think she's quite overwhelmed with what's going on. Sometimes with breech babies, because the bottom's delivered first and the head's last, the baby can sometimes take a bit of a while to adjust. And sometimes they come out a little bit floppy and don't cry instantly. So hopefully it doesn't happen. But I've actually got a paediatrician coming with me anyway.
Do you want me to be there?
Yeah.
You will call me?
No, I'd rather you there. You know, I can resuscitate a baby, but it's nice sometimes to have an extra pair of hands.
Okay.
I'll come round in a couple of minutes. Inside might not be calm, but you've got to show that you're calm to these couples. All right, let's go. You know, you're looking after them. You've got someone's wife in your care. You've got their baby. How are you feeling, Sarah? You okay? You good? So it's been a long time coming, this baby.
The risk with a breech birth is that the baby's oxygen supply can be cut off.
It's always a tense moment attending a breech birth. You either see the feet or the bottom first, and you never know what condition the baby will come out in. I really hope the baby doesn't need resuscitation. Hearing a baby's cry is such a relief and music to my ears.
Mum Sarah and Dad Shane have a healthy baby girl.
Hello. Oh, that's better. Hello, you. Do you want to come and cut the cord? Amazing, well done. Oh, you're super cute. Here she is. Oh. I guess I was a little bit more cautious with this, knowing that the breech presentation can sometimes cause some complications.
Yeah, you okay?
Yeah. I was a little bit on edge for them. So the fact that she came out in good condition, and now they're in their little baby bubble doing skin to skin, which is really important. Yeah, it's really good. Really good, happy outcome. There's no better feeling than seeing healthy babies born into the world. The miracle of birth is never lost on me. It's such an amazing job. To be with couples is amazing. I told you I'd cry. Oh, she's so sweet. It's an emotional job, but it's a bloody good job. It's so good, and I'm good at what I do. I genuinely love it. Like, to come to work is a joy.
It's been 4 weeks since Chris received a new set of lungs.
Over the moon, yeah, absolutely. It's been quite a ride, no doubt a bit more still to come. But to be able to walk out of here without being on the end of a tube and feeling as good as I do, it's such a remarkably short period of time. It's just indescribable.
Look at him. You've been a treasure. Thank you.
Yeah, go on.
Go gently. See you soon. Yes.
Bye-bye.
Oh, wonderful.
The greatest joy in this role is seeing when patients get back to a sense of normal.
I can't believe I'm just standing here like this.
No oxygen.
That's my colour.
Yeah, good. Better than when you arrived.
Good. I've been in some fairly difficult places over the last couple of weeks, but I've not been there alone. The staff have been absolutely amazing, every last one of them, and you just feel so cared for. Just seeing the overwhelming degree of humanity in people that are so good at their jobs and so humble in their jobs too. If you've got to go through something like that, this is the best country in the world to do it, and I think this is the best place in the country. Everybody cares along the way, you know. Oh, the sun's come out.
Just for you.
Nice feeling, isn't it? Life has changed at a stroke, pretty much. Every reason to be completely optimistic now.
I think I'm incredibly privileged to be part of the transplant team at St Vincent's. It's extremely special, the beautiful patients that we look after here, giving them their second go at life.
To be a midwife here, I'm so proud. I just think it's bloody awesome.
Everything we do relies on this bond between us all. That's why we're all here, every single one of us. I don't think there's a better job.
Be strong, 'cause it's gonna be worth the fight. Worth the